Arlington, home to many frequent walkers and bikers, is no stranger to pedestrian-related dangers. In 2013 alone, at least 16 vehicle-pedestrian accidents were reported to police. Arlington Public News spoke to Howard Muise, co-chair of the Arlington Transportation Advisory Committee, or TAC, about the ways that the new Mass Ave rebuild project aims to make streets safer.
I think the original emphasis for the project is pedestrian safety and bicycle accommodation. Not so much, although it's part of the project to try to accommodate traffic too, but that's not the major emphasis of the project. As recently as the end of last year, we did have a traffic fatality at the crossing at Orvis and Grafton Street, right near the post office in East Arlington. An elderly woman was killed late in the evening. And that crossing is a very wide crossing. It's a long distance from one side of the street to the other. And the project is really designed to make that crossing safer, along with several others that are in the corridor.
According to Muise, construction plans for East Arlington include many strategies for reducing pedestrians' vulnerability to oncoming cars.
One way that that's being done is by putting in what we call bump outs, and that is moving the curb closer into the traffic stream. Another factor that's happening is that there will be bike lanes on there, so as somebody steps out into the roadway, they'll be actually stepping into the bike lane and not immediately into traffic. And one other thing that will contribute to a better crossing there is the fact that one of the travel lanes westbound is going to be eliminated, so that you're only crossing 3 lanes of moving cars instead of 4 lanes. So all of this, the bump out and the bike lane, makes them much more visible to cars before they're actually stepping in front of the car.
And you mentioned that you were going to have some of those changes in other places. Could you explain some of those other places along Mass Ave where they're going to be?
Some of the other locations where we'd have some bump outs, there will be a sort of a large one at Lake Street in front of Olivio's restaurant. And that will bump out so that it will eliminate automobiles parking along opposite Lake Street inside the intersection, which is, you're not supposed to be doing. And these bump outs go out about as far as a parked car, so that once you step onto them and you get to the edge of them, you're beyond the parked car. So it makes it much easier for oncoming traffic to see the pedestrian.
The new design, Muise explained, also better accounts for a more eco-friendly age of transportation.
One of the things in traffic planning these days is what they call complete streets, and that means that you're serving all the users, not just people driving in cars. So there's a lot more emphasis now on paying attention to the pedestrians, bicyclists, even the transits.
We asked local passers-by what the biggest hazards to pedestrians are today, and what steps they can take to protect themselves.
The biggest hazards nowadays would be a lot of people are actually always on their cell phones and just not paying attention to the road. Earlier today, I just saw someone text messaging while speeding down the highway, so that's a huge issue.
A lot of people will walk right into the walkway, and the cars are coming, and they pay no attention.
From Arlington Public News, this is Abigail Feldman.